Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your Libertarian car guy, and I'm back in the woods after my trip out to Arizona, and I'm here in the driveway with the Volkswagen Passat. 2017 is mostly a carryover year, and so in some ways it's kind of a sad year. Unfortunately, the Passat will no longer be available with the TDI diesel engine. They took away the manual transmission engine too, so for now there are only two engines available in the Passat. There's a standard 1.8 liter gas engine which has a turbo, and that replaces the formerly standard 5-cylinder non-turbo engine, and it's got its pros and its cons. The 1.8 liter engine obviously is stronger, but has a turbo, has the intercooler, has all the stuff that comes along with it. Personally, I would have preferred either the 5-cylinder non-turbo or the TDI. Which I can personally vouch was capable of getting better numbers than the EPA's numbers. I've driven a number of TDI Passats and other Volkswagens over the years, and Passat would routinely get 45 plus miles per gallon on the highway, and it's just a shame that Uncle, our wonderful government, had to crucify Volkswagen over literally fractional increases in exhaust emissions, which was grossly mischaracterized by the either ignorant or hostile automotive media, of which I'm not a member. You can make fun of me for various other reasons, but I'm pro-car, and a lot of the people in this business, unfortunately, are not. Okay, stuff about the Passat that I like that you might want to know about and might like also is that even though it's not much larger than most other mid-sized cars, it is full-sized on the inside. It is Volkswagen's largest model, so it's bigger than the Jetta, obviously. But the cool thing about it is the back seat is as spacious as what you'd find in something truly Shamu-like. And have a look at that. Look at that. Look at that deep well of legroom, as you'd find in something like the Chevy Impala or the Toyota Avalon, both of which I like. They're both really nice cars, but they are considerably bigger cars on the outside by half a foot or more, which of course makes them a little bit more challenging to park on the curb on street side. And the other thing that you should be aware of is that they're much more expensive. The Impala starts out around 27 and change, several $1,000s more than this thing does, and the Avalon starts out at $32,000. Now granted, the Avalon comes standard with the V6, but I mean, if you look at what turbo 4-cylinder engines give you in terms of performance, it's really just an academic difference unless you're going to go to the drag strip. The 4-cylinder powered version of this car gets to 60 in the mid-low 7-second range, and as a Gen X guy who grew up in the 80s, I can tell you a 7-second 0 to 60 time would have been considered really good for a high-performance sports car like a Mustang GT with a V8 back in the 80s, and I know that dates me, but nonetheless, none of these cars are slow. The optional V6, of course, is stronger, and V6s are becoming kind of rare in the business, again, because of Uncle. The V6 gets slightly poorer gas mileage than before, but not so much that you'd squeal about it. But the reason they're going away is because of the federal government's corporate average fuel economy requirements, which get really punitive. So even 2 or 3 miles per gallon difference, say between one engine and another, really makes it hard for a manufacturer to continue to build the larger engine because it hurts their overall CAFE numbers. Final point of order that I'll get into before I shut up and go on to something else is that the Passat is the only car in this kind of bread and butter class, meaning, for regular people like us who aren't Trumps and aren't super rich, that is directly related to a high-end German luxury car. This car shares its platform and a lot of other things with the Audi A6, and that's pretty cool. And I should, for the sake of disclosure, mention also that the Impala is related to the Cadillac XTS, or you can put it the other way, the XTS is related to the Impala, but again, it's an American car. So this is the only German car with direct lineal routes to connecting it to a high-end marquee, and that's pretty cool too. Anyway, I'm going to compose my thoughts a bit more, and I'll have a written review up at EP Autos. There's also something about the election of El Duce, and hopefully El Duce will do well. I read something this morning that indicates he might actually try to work with rather than against the car companies to try to scale back some of this insane over-regulation that has pushed car prices to preposterous heights and made it very hard for almost anybody who isn't a Trump to afford a car unless they mortgage themselves for the next 6 or 7 years. Anyway, end of rant. There'll be more up on the site, and thanks for viewing, and we'll catch up with you soon.